Good morning and welcome to Rise and 9. It is Wednesday, December 17th, 1 week away from Christmas Eve.
I know, hard to believe it, especially because it's getting so much warmer out after we had snow the last couple of weeks, so much snow the weekend of Thanksgiving and then those freezing cold temperatures. Now it just feels like we should have already had Christmas.
Right, it's early spring is what it feels like outside,
Yeah.
and it looks like it at my house. It's like Bunny Central. My dog's going crazy.
They're confused, I'm sure, because that's a big swing.
We just let Walt outside and he just bounces like a rabbit. He's like, to catch the rabbit, you have to be the rabbit or something. I don't know what's
Become
going
one with
on.
the rabbits.
It's really cute though. He's just like bounding across the yard.
Yeah, well, I'm sure before probably trying to jump through the snow with
Right.
his little legs. So.
Instead of wiping off the salt and snow, I'm wiping off mud off his paws like
I
it's
know.
springtime already.
Such a quick switch, I know, and it'll get a little bit colder, but then it's Christmas. That Christmas forecast is supposed to be so nice outside.
Yeah, it'll feel more like Thanksgiving than Christmas, and Thanksgiving was colder this year too.
I know, you could actually grill out for Christmas this year if you
Right.
want to save the dishes.
Yeah, or go mudding. Yeah, anything.
Yeah, I know, it's so crazy. What a wild swing of temperatures we're experiencing.
Right, and even tomorrow it's going to be high in the 40s, but then dropping down to 6. So I hope that doesn't make things freeze when all that snow melts.
Yes.
And then it gets so cold.
Yeah, that'll be something to watch Friday morning, especially it looked like based off the forecast is. But tomorrow some rain instead of snow. Maybe we'll see some more melting.
Oh, I know. Perfect day for soup, which is what I've been bringing for lunch every day. I made some homemade chicken noodle soup. I wasn't feeling so good on Friday, and I was like, you know what? This would heal me. And I think it did, because I never actually got sick. And I don't even
secret.
use a recipe. I just chopped up, onions, carrots, celery, cooked them down, added in some flour, a bunch of chicken broth, and then boiled the chicken and potatoes, and then
Yeah.
added some noodles at the end. And we've been eating on this a lot. It makes
It
a
looks
huge dish.
delicious. Yeah, it looks so good. It's the perfect thing to do. I have a crock pot of chicken tortilla soup from Sunday night still in my fridge that I ate on for lunch on Monday. Could for a couple more days. It always makes so much when you do that.
Right. I even put 2 containers in the freezer, and we still have so much, which is a great thing.
Yeah, perfect this time of year when it is still chilly outside, considering.
Right. I'm sure we will all get sick this winter, and that'll be nice to have in the freezer when that does happen.
Exactly. Yeah, once you get to that brutal part of winter after the holidays.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, some stories that we're keeping an eye on today. The Iowa National Guard soldiers' remains are returning to the United States today.
Yeah, this has to be just heartbreaking for their family and loved ones. Just a week before Christmas for this to happen. Those 2 soldiers, 29-year-old Sergeant Nate Howard of Marshalltown and 25-year-old Sergeant Edgar Torres Tovar of Des Moines, killed overseas in Syria this weekend.
Yeah, just horrible. Several members of Iowa's congressional delegation are planning to be there, including Senator Chuck Grassley, and then also President Trump is planning to be there, and his schedule shows that he's participating in the ceremony at 12:15 Central Time.
Yes, I'm sure there will be lots to come with that as they are laid to rest as well. And this process doesn't end, that grieving process. We heard this morning from a woman whose husband was killed in action 15 years ago, back in 2011. She said she still thinks about him every single day and deals with daily. And she just talked about what that process is like, and those days of grieving, everything is just a blur, and just it's a tough process.
Yeah, that was a really powerful interview to hear, all these years later. And she talked about how important the support was that they received at that time and how important it is to support these families going through just the unimaginable. And like you mentioned, right before the holidays too.
She said thousands of people showed their support, and that meant a lot to her, every single one of those.
Yeah, she described, seeing people line the streets and, what that was like, and just can't imagine the pain. So yeah, just a really, really hard days here for these families.
Right, and just think about anyone going through the holidays without a loved one. That's also a tough time.
Yeah, but there's a lot of care coming out of this as well. 2 Iowa nonprofits are working to send care kits to the other Iowa National Guard soldiers that are deployed in Syria right now. Those 2 nonprofits are Veterans at Rathbun and True Impact Outdoors.
Yeah, and they're looking for things from hygiene products to playing cards, and those are going to be sent out January 14th. So it's nice to see when you have something horrible happen in the community, there's always people willing to step up and help.
Yeah, especially here in Iowa, they were saying, they hope they feel that Iowa nice all the way in Syria.
Right, and something else that's still happening from over the weekend, that massive dozen-car pileup tow trucks are still moving cars out of the ditch.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that, all these days later. It just goes to show kind of how big this was. Multiple crashes, even closing down the road for some time.
Right. Unfortunately, no one was killed, but dozens were hurt. Around 20 to 25 people taken to the hospital. Around 40 people were checked out by EMS there that day, and firefighters even had to extricate some people from the crashes. It had to be very scary.
I can't imagine. You're just basically a sitting duck on the interstate at that point in that bad weather. So, yeah, very thankful that nobody died in that. And also, the DOT does want to warn you that these tows are typically happening during the evening hours, so should be on the lookout for signs and lane closures on I-80 as they work to continue to clean up that mess.
Right. Something to be watching out for, those winter driving conditions. It seems like there's always a winter threat. Even as it's warming up, we're dealing with like the refreezing. There's always something to be mindful of on the roads.
I know, yeah, it's always something. In general, you always need to be safe driving on interstates, but especially with all that winter can bring in those different conditions, can really make an impact.
Yeah, and just a few more days left for school before kids head out for a winter break.
Yeah, and something that schools could be seeing back in the cafeterias is whole milk. So I actually did not realize until we had this story update that whole milk was banned from schools for so long.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be coming back, a law this week that lawmakers passed to bring whole milk back to the lunch table, and it has been a decades-long ban there.
Yeah, and that ban was due to concerns about childhood obesity. But under this new bill, schools that participate in the USDA's National School Lunch Program can actually have a wide variety of milk options. They can have flavored, unflavored, whole, 2%, 1%, skim, and even lactose-free options.
Yep, but the bill isn't law yet. It's going to the president's desk for him to sign if he were to sign that into law.
Yeah, and something also interesting with that, if it is signed into law, with parent permission, there'll also be non-dairy options, which can be important for people with lactose intolerance.
Right.
And also, Our Town Elkader, you had a story air that was so fun to watch.
Yeah, this aired last night at 6 and 4 o'clock, also up on our website. The town of Elkader putting together this holiday light display. I know lots of towns have these, but it's only their second year doing this, but you couldn't tell. They have around 45 displays, and I would call them displays, not just light show, because they're really a whole creation that look nice even in the daytime hours. Like one CJ Moyna and Sons in the Earth Moving Legacy Center, there's like a front loader or whatever it is, heavy construction equipment. I'm not super familiar, but it says Merry Christmas on it. It's really neat. And Wilkie Marketplace, the grocery store in town, has one with it's a grocery store cart instead of Santa's sleigh. They have Santa there. And then there's some reindeer out, and one of them has its nose in a bucket of applesauce. It's really cute.
Yes, very creative. I actually loved how the businesses kind of capitalized on, what they actually do for business in creating their display. And it's just so creative that they, built that into what people see when they go and kind of represents their business.
It does. You get a picture of the whole town driving through the campground.
Yeah.
But one that really stood out is the one that the Central Community School District art students created. They have two. One of them is really neat, so that it's like a light bright inspo. So they poked holes to create like an FFA logo, a drama logo, and other things, and they put lights in all of that. And then they also made an interactive one where you can hop out of your car and then stick your face in it and get your picture made. And the kids came up with that, made it all themselves, painted it. It's a really neat thing.
Yeah, it's so special when communities, do stuff like this with these holidays displays or any other holiday events, kind of brings the community together and helps make those family traditions of going through.
Right, and a new thing that the Central Art Program is doing is they're creating a program where you can letter in art, just like you would letter for a sport or anything like that. And part of getting that letter is doing community outreach. So they being involved in this light display and creating that goes towards that goal to get a letter.
How neat. Yes, this is a story that you'll want to check out. It's on our website right now, kcrd.com.
Yeah, and if you want to see the display, it's off Highway 13. You'll see it when you're driving by Elkader, and it was kind of neat because that's where we did our live shots the morning of Our Town Elkader in the summer, so it looks completely different now. It was really warm but foggy that day, back in July, I think it was.
Yeah, big difference. And I loved one of the guys going through, he was like, this is even bigger than what it looks like off the highway,
right,
once you actually get up to it, so it'll be worth checking out.
Yeah, I think my favorite was one woman who she didn't grow up in Elkader. She lived here for about 4 years. She said she's from a town outside of Chicago Chicago with 80,000 people, but she said she loves Elkader for the small town and
Yeah.
all those community things they do. She even brought her dog. So it was a little corgi and another cute little puppy. They were enjoying it too.
I know. I love that you had them in slow-mo. Just got to check out the dogs and the Christmas lights.
Oh, I know. My dog loves to sit in front of the Christmas tree and just look at it. It's so cute. I don't know what he's thinking. If he's like, why are you allowed to have a tree in the house when I can't even bring a stick in?
Like, Mom, I've been really good this year. I need extra bones in my stocking.
All right, you tell Santa Paws.
That is so cute. Well, speaking of the holidays, we were just talking this morning about holiday recipes and some fun things that you can try with kiddos.
Yeah, I have a couple kids coming to my house, some family coming over, and I'm thinking, like, what is a holiday themed recipe that is still fun for them? So I was thinking, like, Christmas tree pizzas,
I love
because you
it.
cut a pizza, it kind of looks like a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
So this sounds weird. I understand that. But so one of the little kids and I both really like pickles. So I was thinking maybe I could do crust, cheese, some dill, and then like little chopped up pickles to look like a tree.
I think it sounds delicious. I also love pickles though. So,
Right.
I mean, if they like pickles, and the thing is, I didn't even think about this until you brought it up, but if you have a pizza crust in the shape of a Christmas tree, it'd be like they're decorating the tree, you know, they could use pepperonis, like the little
You get the little
bulbs.
mini ones.
Yeah, that could be so cute.
You
That's
could
such
like
a fun idea.
chop up peppers,
Yeah.
and maybe they'll try a new vegetable that way.
Yeah, I bet they would love it. You know, I tried this, so I got an idea from you, actually, from Jackie. She sent me on Instagram of this Grinch pasta. So literally, it's the easiest thing ever. You just put green food coloring inside your pasta while it's cooking. If you want to go to my Facebook page, I posted a picture this morning of what this turned out like. I might have put too much coloring in because my noodles were very green. It's very vibrant. But my kids, as I mentioned before, love the Grinch. So I was like, guys, I have Grinch pasta because they're very picky. And I was like, maybe this will get them to eat spaghetti. It worked for one of the two. So I'm
Right.
calling that a win.
And when I sent that to you, I'm like, okay, this looks really gross, but maybe.
Yeah, you know, they were very excited. And my one who didn't love it, he's my pickiest eater. And he actually at least tried it and was excited about the fact it was green and that it was called Grinch noodles. So he didn't throw a fit. You know, he tasted it and he was just like, you know, I don't like it. But he did try it, which is different than, you know, sometimes you put a food in front of them, they just immediately, no, it's a no.
Right.
So I appreciated that, you know, he was interested. My daughter gobbled down an entire plate. So yeah, it was a success. If you need to try to get your kids to eat pasta, maybe try to dine it green.
Right. And then they, so my family, they like, the little kids in the family like different vegetables. So I was thinking maybe to make like a Christmas tree, and I could use like a little star cookie cutter to like cut out like cucumber slices or something fun, or like cheese, and make it look like a whole Christmas tree.
I think that's a
thinking all the
great
fun
idea.
ways.
Yeah, you could make one really big one on like a pan.
Like a whole serving
Yeah,
platter.
and then just have all the little toppings cut out like Christmas ornaments.
Right. I
Go
think
for it.
I have a whole vision in my head. I don't know if it'll turn out once it actually happens, but
But they will make a memory.
Right.
They will make a memory at your house. That sounds so fun.
we'll have to see if it all turns out. I always have these big ideas, but it's getting them done is a different thing, right?
I know, just one of the many things you're trying to do around the holidays is think about, you know, what you're going to serve, let alone
Right.
like all the shopping and wrapping and what else do I have
all
to
the
get done?
hosting, which is
Yeah.
all fun.
All
and
fun, but busy.
great. But yeah,
Right.
happy to have those things.
Yeah, that'll be so much fun. I love that idea.
I know, I'm just 1 week away from Christmas Eve today.
Hard to believe it, but yeah, we're getting there.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us for Rise of 9.
Have a great day today.